Alright, so I'm going to attempt to compile all of movies 4 through 7 reviews into this one video right here. I'm going to start off with 4 and talk about it mostly and talk about 5. I won't address 6 or 7 that much because unfortunately my computer is acting up and the pictures that I found of the movie covers I couldn't download onto here, so what little I'll talk about the last 2 movies, you'll just see a picture of 5. So on to Howling 4, the original Nightmare. Alright, take just about everything that you saw in the Howling 1, barring the ensemble cast, barring a lot of the comedic elements, and try and bring the Howling 4 as a remake of the first one, but back to the roots of the source material that Gary Bradner had wrote. As far as taking itself seriously in this, I will give them a good job. They did this, considering that it's a straight-to-video release. The major flaw with this movie, besides the plot and the fact that you don't see werewolves in this movie until the last 20 minutes, is the fact that this movie takes itself too seriously. It's fucking boring. I'll be honest, I don't know any actors in this movie. The dialogue isn't great. Everything is predictable in this movie. The only thing good about this, besides the werewolf effects you do see in the last 20 minutes and the fact that they stuck so close to the source material, which is its Achilles heel, is the transformation scene that we have with this woman's husband. He goes, visits a woman in town like Bill did in the first movie with Marcia, gets bitten. The only difference with his transformation in this is that the first time that a human turned into a werewolf changes under the full moon, his skin starts to melt off his bones, and it gets really gross at some points. For like, it takes about like 2 minutes for him to do that. It's really cool, but I can't really recommend this movie enough just based on that one damn scene that I liked. If you want to see that clip, just look it up on YouTube, Howling 4 Transformation, I think it is. That's about the only good thing of this movie. Other than that, I just say skip it. The downside of this is that it influences the 7th movie because they decided to play a mystery thing with this, and all 4 of these movies are interconnected with each other in some minute way. They could be standalone films, but they're not really. Everything doesn't tie up until the 7th movie, and while I get to that in a little bit, I'll talk about Howling 5. Now, movie 1 was great. Movie 2 was a big what the fuck. Movie 3 was so stupid it was good. 4 was just boring. 5 is excellent. The only actor I can tell you in this movie that I do know is Clive Turner, who actually is credited with producing and directing a little bit of the last of the 3 movies. He plays this old rock star in here, and he's a bit of a smart ass, and he actually holds his own pretty well. The story in this one is that a lot of people are invited to a castle which has a bad history of a werewolf, and the opening sequence is really funny. Because like there's this medieval scene where like all the family goes and commits suicide, but then when the last guy goes to kill himself, he hears a baby crying. It's like, oh shit, we have one left. Then they get down to the present, and it's really funny from there. Don't let the cover fool you, however, because the problem is that we don't see a werewolf much in this. You see it for about a minute at the end. But aside from that, this is actually a pretty good story. And what they did with the first one, when they had those jump moments, this is actually, to me, the scariest of all 7 of the movies, and it really does a good job of bringing that fear element back into it. Howling 6, The Freaks. Take a circus thing, and this treats with the sympathetic view on the werewolf like movie 3 did. There's a kid in a circus, and the circus is run by this vampire, and his biggest attraction for the freak show is that he can say a spell that turns this kid into a werewolf in front of the audience, and this borrows on the idea from book 3. That's pretty good. Bruce Payne plays the vampire in this movie. Bruce Payne is excellent in anything he plays, and he's just a great villain actor. Movie 7, on the other hand, in the 20 seconds I have left for this, I will tell you, skip that fucking movie. It makes no sense. It plays out more like a documentary. The werewolf that you see at the end is absolutely terrible. Do not watch that movie. If you're still confused about the mystery that they have in it, if you do decide to watch it, I'll give you a hint. It's the chick from the 5th movie that was left over. That's it. Just watch 5 and 6.